This morning, Deputy President Paul Mashatile is expected to deliver the keynote address in Potchefstroom. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is there and joins us now. Nqobile, it's really been mixed fortunes for the country's youth on this really important occasion marking 49 years. Talk to us about some of the conversations you've been having with young people in that area and what they potentially expect to hear from the Deputy President today.
Well, Iman, this area is riddled with a lot of issues, and one of them will be some of the substance abuse. We know that there's a high crime as well around here, and so these are some of the issues that they're dealing with. But also there's unemployment. We are told that there's about 13% of unemployment of young people within the area. But also this means that they get to see what the government's plans are for them. So we are, of course, going to hear the ministers as they speak to the young people that are going to be at the stadium. But I want to bring in the Minister of Basic Education first to speak to us about these issues, mainly because in the municipality that we are in, they're saying that it's been 31 years and they haven't received anything with regards to assistance in the schools. How is this important for this municipality to look at June 16?
Look, I think firstly, I think the significance of Youth Day is not just about, young people who got together to fight against an oppressive regime. It was about young people saying we recognize that the quality of education we're getting is not up to scratch. We recognize that we deserve to self-determine. And so for me, I think that's the impetus that we need to take from the lessons we need to take from the young people of 1976. But as a government, we need to respond to that because there are still young people today, and I think we are dealing with a massive issue of endemic youth unemployment. 7 out of 10 young people in South Africa do not have work, and for me that is the big crisis that as a country we need to face. And so here in particularly the Northwest, there's a lot of work that we are trying to do in terms of infrastructure upgrades. We're quite happy that the MOU that we have signed with the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture is bearing fruit. The Minister and his team are rolling out sporting equipment to our schools, particularly in poorer areas. And this is important because we know that the impact of sport, firstly, in keeping young people off the streets and really in competitive sports is important, but also that there's a massive correlation between academic performance and access to sports and particularly competitive sport. So we're very glad that that is happening. Of course, doesn't mean that the issues in this municipalities are not adversely affecting young people, but I think from the Department of Education side, we're working very hard to say that, well, the youth of 1976 shouldn't have fought in vain, and that the issue around access to quality education is something that is still dogging South Africa today.
And what sort of things are you implementing then as a Department of Basic Education to assist, especially with schools? You find schools of specialization. We haven't seen this in big numbers around the country.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly where you're right, that as a department we ought to ask ourselves, because as a government, as the 7th administration, we have set ourselves a priority of waging war against poverty and bringing down unemployment. And I think every single department should ask themselves, what is it that you are doing to try and move closer and closer to that goal? And as a department, what we are doing is we are really emphasizing access to skills training within schools of skills in our schools, so where young learners can leave in grade 9 and go to a school of skills, because we want young people to be job ready by the time they leave school, because not every single child is going to go and obtain a university degree, nor should they, and that there are skills, that there's a skills deficit in our country, and that we must be able to really give access to young people so when they can leave school they can be job ready. Because the big problem here is that young people are loitering in the streets, unable to get into either further education and training, and as a result are falling either victims to crime or are being perpetrators of crime. So we have to take this seriously to say, how do we give young people access to skills and skills acquisition so that they can leave and be job ready, so that they can get a job and really live lives of dignity.
Minister, I want to bring in also the Minister of Art and Culture because he is here. And of course, Minister, we know that you're going to be handing over, as the Minister is explaining to us, that you have basically signed the MOU. You're handing over this facility. What does this mean for this community? And how do you ensure that most of what you have given continues to be used?
I think it will be remiss of me not to give all credit or most of the credit to the minister. She's so fast. She didn't waste time. We are now rolling out this stuff. Things are happening. This minister is very energetic. She, you know, like we share that energy. And this would not have been possible if it wasn't for her fastness and speediness. And that's what the GNU is about. This is a problem school. Children here are involved in drugs. And we must start by saying the kids are asking us a simple question. There's nothing for us to do here. As an adult, I don't have an answer. The children are right. There's nothing for them to do. So what we are doing is, with the minister, this is not the only one. In the next 3 weeks, we're going to make a massive announcement. But for now, we are rolling out this. We want every school, in every province, in every municipality, to have a combi court. We want the municipalities need to pull up their socks. They must stop using money that is meant for sports infrastructure to pay salaries. If they can't budget their books, we will expose such mayors. The sports facilities look, it's appalling. But when you go and look, we give them the money. But they pay salaries with the money, they redirect that money. Now that I'm the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, no cent of sport, arts and culture shall be redirected for tenders and for paying salaries that that has never been budgeted for. But once again, I want to thank the Minister. She's really a breath of fresh air to work with her.
And it's good to work together. But Minister, I want to just check, you speaking about the fact that you want to ensure that no money is redirected. Can we take it as you are investigating them, these things?
No, we have to. We call the MECs. We are holding the money back. We're holding the money back. We say, tell us what you did with the previous money before you give you this, the next batch. You can't be just throwing money and you see what the problem is. The problem in South Africa, and we must admit it, infrastructure, sports infrastructure is a mess. And we need to fix that. And this is our way of fixing it. You can't say you bring sports back, where are they going to play? Now people can train. South Africa is the best country in the world when it comes to sport. Look at the cricket. We've got the best rugby team in the world. We've got the best cricket team. Even Bafana has gone 20 games without a loss. Bafana. They are a bunch of winners. They are you know, if Bafana can go 20 games. 20 games! We have the strongest man in the world. And not only here, our runners. Our runners are the fastest. I mean, like the fastest. If people want to know about sports, they must come here. South Africa is the best country when it comes to sport. Salute. We are the best country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, the Minister getting very passionate there, Iman. He says we are the best in sport. But of course, this is the start of those great implementations, but also improvement in terms of young people, especially when it comes to recreational centers, because this assists them to be taken out of the field. But we are hearing already that there's more arrival of some of the officials that are coming in. So that's happening right now and behind us. But you've heard from the ministers that have spoken to us, Iman.
Nqobile, we'll keep our picture on you because we are expecting a number of those dignitaries taking part in the official commemorative event today to start converging where you are. So we'll keep our cameras on you as well.